What is up, everybody? Random Random Man here, aka RRM, bringing you another rapid movie review, aka RMR. And it is for Paddington in Peru in one take. Now, this is the third entry in the Paddington film series, which in turn is based on the stories by Michael Bond, and it sees the titular character with his adoptive family, the Browns, go back to his titular home country to look for his Aunt Lucy after she has gone missing. Now, as far as the first two Paddington films are concerned, I love these movies. These are among the best children's and family films of the past decade. And that is why I was looking forward to seeing this third entry. With the returning cast here, of course, we have Ben Whishaw back as the voice of Paddington Bear himself, and he is as charming, polite, sweet, and kind as ever. And there's also the likes of Hugh Bonneville as Mr. Brown and Julie Walters as Mrs. Bird. The only one of this core family who does not return here is Sally Hawkins as Mrs. Brown, and instead she is now played by Emily Mortimer, and I think she did a more than well enough job here in taking over the reins. And then in terms of the new cast here, we have Antonio Banderas as a sailor slash crazed treasure hunter who is looking for some long lost gold here and helps the Browns in their search for Aunt Lucy. And then there's Olivia Colman as the singing Reverend Mother in charge of the home for old bears where Lucy was initially staying at. And I thought that she was the standout here for her singing chops and comedic timing that she had in a lot of moments. Another person who does not return here, instead now behind the camera, is Paul King, who directed the first two films. Instead of doing this entry, despite working on the story, he went and directed 2023's Wonka, which I thought more than worked out for him, if I do say so myself. And here we see Dougal Wilson making his feature directorial debut here, and I thought he did a great job in keeping up the tone of the first two Paddington films with this entry, and it's clearly the biggest and most expansive entry yet. What with going to the titular country of Peru and going around the ancient jungles and the rivers on the boat for a lot of it that is manned by Banderas' character, and just seeing the family play off of each other, and also seeing how they've changed slowly but surely since we last saw them, and with Paddington just being the same kind of just so loving and warming character that we see, despite making mistakes and just not necessarily knowing what is best in the moment, but there's so much here that is to love about him. And the same goes with this film. Though it plays up a lot more of the comedic angle, I would say on a technical front, there is a lot of praise to be given, of course, to how Paddington himself looks. It is flawless to see how he is integrated with the rest of the human characters. This movie, compared to the last two, does rely a lot more on VFX and green or blue screen here, which is more noticeable but understandable given the location change. And I think that it wasn't as funny as the last two films, but it more than makes up for it, like I've said, with the heart that the movie has. And it running all along together at just about an hour and 40 minutes, I think that this is a successful sequel. It is sweet sailing, and third time is the charm for this bear and what we see all together. And I would be lying if I said that I didn't get a little misty-eyed by the end of this film, because there was a specific callback to the first film that did get me choked up a little bit. And apparently we're getting more of Paddington in terms of films and even beyond the medium he originated from and these movies. And I'd say bring it on, whether it's Paddington 4 or more of this bear, because I think that this film is great for all. I think for generations young and old, there is so much to appreciate with him. And the world is better when we have Paddington on film or in any medium that we see him in. I definitely recommend Paddington in Peru. With that being said, my final verdict for Paddington in Peru is 4 out of 5 stars. Thank you all, as always, for watching. Be sure to like this video, comment on what you thought of Paddington in Peru, social media links in the description, subscribe to my channel for more, and I'll catch you on the next movie review.